जय श्री माता जी। आज के सामूहिक ध्यान के लिए आप सभी का स्वागत है। श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करेंगे, कुंडली उठाकर बंधन लेंगे। तीन महामंत्र, उसके पश्चात श्री गणेश मंत्र। दायां हाथ धरती मां पे रखते हुए संपूर्ण चित्त बाएं हाथ की हथेली पर श्री माता जी से प्रार्थना करेंगे, माँ हमारे अंदर भूतकाल के जितने भी विचार हैं जो हमें वर्तमान से विचलित कर रहे हैं, कृपा करके उन सबको धरती माँ में विलीन कीजिए। माँ, कृपा करके हमारी इरा नाड़ी को संतुलित कीजिए। दायां हाथ श्रीमती जी की ओर, बाएं हाथ को आकाश की तरफ, संपूर्ण चित्त दाएं हाथ की हथेली पर। श्रीमती जी, हमारी पिंगला नाड़ी में जितनी भी उष्णता है, जड़त्व है, भविष्य की चिंताएं हैं, आक्रामकता है, अधिक विचार हैं, कृपा करके उन सभी को आकाश तत्व में समा लीजिए। श्रीमती जी, कृपा करके हमारी पिंगला नाड़ी को संतुलित कीजिए। बाएं हाथ को श्री माता जी की ओर करेंगे। चित्त को सहस्त्रार पे स्थापित करेंगे। श्री माता जी, कृपा करके आज का शाम का ध्यान आप हमसे करवा लीजिए। इसी ध्यान की स्थिति को बनाए हुए श्री माता जी की अमृत वाणी को ग्रहण करें।
In the olden days, in the same European countries, this was used for creating art, for producing artists, for supporting artists. Even in our country, artists were supported by the kings and all the big empires that we had. These days, there's no question. No government is willing to support the artist. You know that Mozart was called by the Queen herself to play before her. So the governments were not only looking after the collection of taxes, but they were looking after the artists, musicians, painters, and people who did creative art. Like in France, you can see how their queen collected beautiful artistic things and encouraged artists to do artistic work. Spent her money in that. And now you know that she was killed by people. By killing her, they have killed the art of France. And now the French themselves have become bourgeois. Those whom they condemned, they have become that. So acquisition instinct has to be taken to the acquisition of art. That also should not be plastic. Otherwise tomorrow you might start buying plastic artistic things. Genuinely made, handmade things. Or the music also, which is very deep, classical, singing the songs of the divine. Not the cheap type music which just makes you mad or makes you full of lust and greed. So this is one of the problems of your culture, which gives you this kind of a ego. I mean, people, if they have, say, a Rolls Royce, then of course nobody can talk to them. Their brain has blown out of their heads completely. But even the driver of the Rolls Royce, who doesn't own the Rolls Royce, he drives, his head is off. He has a different gait, he walks in a different way, he talks in a different way. So this acquisition instinct gives you so much of ego. I mean, you go to somebody's house, like some stupid Indians who are now in England. I went to their house. They are Sardarjis, means following the path of Guru Nanaka, where drinking is not allowed. So as soon as you rise, he shows us a pub in his house. My God, I said. I went back 3-4 steps, you see. He says, see my pub, as he says. And from the pub he takes out a soda thing and shows us how it pumps out the soda. And he wouldn't talk, And when we said we don't drink, he thought we were sinners of the worst type, that we don't drink. So this acquisition instinct is now ending up into something which is very cheap, vulgar, and immoral. The fondness for showing off is so much that you are sometimes shocked the way people try to show off. Like an American lady came from America, and she asked me, Mrs. Srivastava, how many pubs you have seen in London? I said, none. Oh, you are good for nothing. Useless, absolutely. You haven't seen any pub. The best houses in any village, any city in England is a pub. I said, from outside I've seen, all right, just to satisfy. I thought she's artistic. No. Do you know the best pub in London? She gave me the list, I said, which one is the best? There was one called Hermit's Pub. I said, what is this supposed to be? The man who was living in this house died, and nobody knew that he's dead. So, for months together, nobody went in. And the whole place was filled with that stink. And lots of cobwebs were there. Then they removed that dead body from there, and the stink is still there, and the cobwebs absolutely intact, You have to be careful that you don't break them. And there, that is the best pub for which you have to pay quite a lot. And I have seen that, so proud. So where does it end then? This acquisition instinct ends in where? In rottening things, in putrefying. We may call it fermenting. It has to end up. Because the reaction of the ego comes and you start enjoying things which are rotten, like cheese of France. Never eat that. I tell you, you will burn your finger, you will burn your throat, and you will burn your stomach. It is very rotten. And the more rotten it is, the better. The wine. The wine is the rotten grape juice, absolutely rotten. You can't take it. It smells, I've seen the smells like a rotten cork. I asked somebody, how does it smell? He said, it's very fine. I said, does it smell like rotten cork? I've never smelled a cork. That's why I said, if he had smelled a rotten cork, he would never have taken to wine. So, all things that are rotten, you know the discovery of cheese, what had happened, how it started, do you know that? There was a big snowfall and milk was left in one cave. So because of the snowfall, everybody forgot about the milk. It was left there. Then summertime, the milk became rotten. Then it became more rotten, more rotten. After 12 years or so, somebody went and saw this there. Thank God I have not taken my food today. And so they took that milk, they called it cheese. In India, cheese is used in Urdu language especially for something which is something special thing, something very special. And also, as you know, in music they use it for some special composition, cheese. But here the cheese is the most rotten milk which no human beings or animals should eat. Worms may. So they gave it to worms. And I know in Holland and also in Sweden, I think, yeah, they had cheese with worms. And they were eating the worms. Can you beat it? Ah, man, it's true. Not only the cheese, but also the worms. I mean, see where we have ended up into our acquisition instinct. The wine has to be 100-year-old, certified. That's the best. Such rotten things we are eating, they smell, I tell you, they smell of it. That's why once I was surprised that they go to the bathroom, don't even wash their hands. We get such horrible smells they don't get, because if you take that cheese, you cannot smell anything rotten. Even if you put them in the gutters, they won't feel anything rotten, because it's all that dirty smell they are used to. It's the filth. I mean, even if they go to hell, they won't feel bad because the smell will be the same. So where should we put them? They are so immune to that dirty smell, which is absolutely subhuman. So this acquisition instinct in any elite society, once upon a time, French society was regarded as elite. What happened? Poor children must have been upset to hear all this, you see. I quite understand. So the most elite society was the French society. It was most diplomatic in every way. Their food was made with wine, everything was wine. And this diplomatic society, once upon, ruled the whole diplomatic areas. But they never realized that the whole culture was nothing but eating and drinking. Nothing else but eating and drinking. And later on, maybe little politics started. But this eating and drinking went to such a limit that now they have gone out of diplomatic areas. No one wants them. Because they never think in the right way. Any diplomat, French diplomat is anywhere, people say, is he French? Yes. Then better not call him for this meeting, you know. He'll put his own ideas. They went out. So now that eliteness is shifted in America. So the most elite are taking to drugs. What is it after all? Drugs is creation of this acquisition instinct only. Why should you blame Colombians or anybody else? They are making their money all right, as you are all making. But the one they are feeding is America, and America is the main thing now in acquisition instinct. What are they acquiring? I have been in that society. They only talk of drugs. All right. Drugs, they talk not only that, but it's like a shopping of drugs. They all know where you get drugs, all these so-called ambassadors and these people, and their wives. With all their dresses have become simpler now, they do not dress up the way formerly the ambassadors' wives used to dress up. I will not be surprised if they come in holy pants. So this acquisition instinct, you can see in the elite society, has ended up into drugs. And if not, into gurus, false gurus. Those who got fed up with this went to false gurus, because they have no discrimination to know what is right and what is wrong. See step by step how it has gone into the rotten state, this ego in the West. So this is the first point, is the acquisition instinct you have. In that, then, somebody's wife is good looking, then every man has a right to look at her. Or some man is good looking, maybe anybody's husband, every woman has a right to look at him. Not look at her own husband, but another man. What's the use? I have never been able to understand. What's the use of looking at another man who is not your husband? This acquisition instinct has gone into complete immoral life, immoral society. And they have lost sense of respect of their age. A 90-year-old woman having a love affair with her grandson who is 18-year-old. Just think of it, such stupidity, such nonsense. How is it possible unless and until we have some sort of a perverted acquisition instinct? Even art has gone into perversion. Everything has gone into perversion. Because the curse of the Western society is that there is no Maryada. And Kundalini rises in its own Maryada. It brings back your Maryadas. It keeps you into your Maryadas. You are a human being. Don't live like animals, even worse than animals. You have no right to do that. God has not created you to be subhuman, but to be superhuman being. So, this is how it works out. You can now think about it, how far it goes, this acquisition instinct about things. But the second very bad curse of the Western acquisition instinct is that they want to acquire, aggress others. Aggression, the aggressiveness. They think they have a right to aggress other countries. I mean, they aggressed our country for 300 years. Why? Why did they aggress? We are not bad people. Because we had gold, we had diamonds, we had pearls, we had lots of things, which were just material things for which they aggressed us. And they didn't take any spirituality from India. So the French aggressed, he's aggressed, all the time aggressing. Japanese are also following you. This aggression then moves the whole society into a very destructive force. You can see every day. The wars are going on. This is fighting that, that is fighting that. They want this, they want that. And this aggression has also penetrated the developing countries, the third world also. So, nicely the disease is on. But Kundalini kills that acquisition. How? By giving you joy. You enjoy everything. You are sitting in a jungle, you are enjoying. Here in uncomfortable conditions, you enjoy. Because you seek the comfort of your spirit, because that gives you joy. Ultimately, that's what you get out of everything. You think you get joy by acquisition, you do not. But through Kundalini awakening, you get that joy. And in that joy, you don't want anything. You don't ask for anything. You just enjoy yourself. You are the property of enjoyment. Sanskrit they say, Atmanne Atmanah Ducha. The spirit is satisfied by its own spirit. So into small things you must see joy. And you must watch it, the whole universe, with that thing. I mean, when I'm traveling, I'll ask, what is this tree? Mother, we don't know. But you lived here for so many years, you don't know. No, Mother, we don't know much about trees. Acha, what are these flowers? We don't know. I mean, what are you doing? What have you been doing? You don't know what are the trees. Every day you watch them. You don't know what is the tree is. But if you ask them, where do you get this wine? They will know. Mother, this is the place where they produce the best wines. All right, I'll see to it. And next year they had no fermentation. So, this is the acquisition instinct, which is very sort of which becomes a political asset that you go and aggress other countries, aggress other people, and use all kinds of things. And that really is killing. So the whole attitude of human beings changes. They think we are the Lord. We can hate anyone. We can aggress anyone. We could be arrogant with anyone. We can demand anything. We can take away anybody's wife, take away anybody's child, take away anything. We can kill our children. As a result, the love is lost. No question of compassion. Love is lost, compassion is lost. No love. And with that, you also developed my and mine, sense of my and mine. Is that this is my child, this is my country, this is, as you know in Yugoslavia, what they are doing. I don't know who gave the name of Yugo. Yugo means yoga. This is the yoga people fighting among themselves. This has come from the same root, that this is mine, this is my country. Why? How is it your country? You can't create one leaf. For who are you? You can't create little mud, can you? How do you say this is my country? How dare? This all belongs to God. He has created. Or you can say Adi Shakti has created. You have not created even so much. How do you say this is mine and I should have it? So the my and mine thing also develops very strong. And the same thing happens with sometimes Sahajogis very much. My children, this is the first curse. These are my children. My wife, my family. It starts growing like that. Then the heart strings. For a large-hearted man, the whole world is the universe, the whole thing is within, the whole thing is yours. When such a heart you experience within yourself, then Kundalini just shoots off, because as you know, the Sahasrara is the heart chakra. No question of Sahasrara catching if you have a large heart. And to keep the Sahasrara open is just develop that sense, that wisdom, that nobody is mine, everybody belongs to God. Who is mine? Whatever God wants, let Him do. So get out of this small feeling. Sahajogis do, I must say, I have seen it. They get confined to their families. My son hasn't got a realization, my brother hasn't got a realization, my this thing. After that it moves. When they get realization, this is my son, my brother, my sister, this thing. This my has to drop, which is very, very subtle thing, and that's why the Sahasrara catches. Everyone is yours. Because the Kundalini of Sahajogis is made of love, pure love. The pure love has only pure desire is to love. Love everyone equally. When you say it is difficult, that means you are not trying Sahaja. Enlarge your heart. You will never feel lost. To me, when I was living in England, I was really little bit, what happens like that, like a moon sucks in the sea, you see. I felt my heart was just pulled out. But I reach here, again I see my children waiting for me. So it's over, finished. It's there I felt, now here I feel. That pull of my heart was released. You are also my children here, and they are also my children. For a mother like this, how can I say this is mine, this is mine? So, like this, try to break away from this conditioning. First, in the West, people don't care for family, they'll divorce 10 times and advertise it. I am 10th time divorced lady. Now they don't divorce, but so get attached with their family, with their husbands, like glue, I tell you, like glue. Sometimes I start wondering, what have I done to make them like this? So now, it is important to see these points, and ultimately the heart is the Sahasrara, or you can call the Brahmarandra. Then we have to come to heart. Do not reason out, do not argue it out, don't work it out mentally from books or anywhere, but through your heart. If you work it out, you will understand that nothing is more important than to love someone. And the highest thing is to love everyone equally. Of course, in love you might have to say something to a person. The other day I had to say something to some Sahajogini. So my husband said, don't say she'll become your enemy. I said, let her become my enemy, it doesn't matter, it's my duty to tell her that this is wrong. Otherwise I become her enemy because I don't told her the truth, and she will suffer. So this is what, it gives you discretion, and love is truth. So to this Kundalini, which is nothing but is the river, as yesterday they described Nirvaj, which doesn't accept any compensation. The river of that pure love, which has awakened us with such love, kindness and tenderness. We should try to use that power within ourselves to be like that, because our job is, she has given us realization for the emancipation of the whole world, not only our own. So everyone has to give realization to others, otherwise their Kundalini will settle back. Talk about Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja Yoga is not part-time. It is not a side issue. It should be always with you. Wherever you get a chance, you have to talk about Sahaja Yoga, you have to work it out, you have to give realization. Otherwise, no use. May God bless you all.
श्रीमाता जी, आज के ध्यान के लिए हम आपके पूर्ण दिल से आभारी हैं। माँ, कृपा करके हमें ध्यान की सूक्ष्मता और गहराई प्रदान कीजिए। थैंक यू श्री माता जी। जय श्री माता जी। हम अभी कुंडलिनी उठाकर बंधन लेंगे।